There's a distinction between a house and a home. A house is an address, a place to reside, but a home is a place to grow and live. For us as a species, the earth is our only home. And so in 2016, the President of the United States at the time, Barack Obama, would meet with other world leaders in Paris to discuss the issue of climate change, specifically in relation to carbon emissions. This convention would result in formal publication of the 2016 Paris Climate Agreement Act, which would agree to address all climate change issues arising from carbon emissions. And so in this video, we would try to show both sides, the good and the bad of the Paris Agreement Act, because no matter where our personal opinion lies, the truth of the matter is that the controversial discussion like these should be approached with an open and neutral mind. Our discussion today begins with two young gentlemen who fully support the act, hoping to inspire anyone to give their support and unwavering loyalty to the act, and another who is completely against the act due to the potential economic repercussions that the citizens may face. Countries, mainly communities in the United States like ours, participants in these videos will attempt to discuss issues that are knowledgeable and relevant to citizens of any country or nation, but due to the background from which both come, these issues will attempt to create particular emphasis on the state of Texas and the city and community of Laredo. For example, in the agreement for the Paris Agreement coming into full effect, coastal flooding and high ocean temperatures will be mentioned, along with high temperatures in the state of Texas, as these are issues that citizens across the country face daily. Now the discussions against the Paris Agreement Act will be based on economic aspects. This is due to Laredo's status as a World Trade Bridge, which means that a large percentage of U.S. exports and imports pass through Laredo, Texas. Even though the discussion, regardless of whether you are for or against the Paris Agreement, seems to be focused primarily on the repercussions of Laredo, this video will attempt to make both sides and every point of any argument relevant around the world, as we want this video to resonate with citizens around the world, no matter what background they come from. Sir, the Paris Agreement Act of 2016 is hurting the economy, especially in our border town of Laredo, Texas. Our economy revolves around import-export.
If we don't cut carbon emissions, there would be no world to live on. We won't have any roads to do import and export.
I agree that our world needs to be saved and that we need to cut carbon emissions, but we need to find a different solution. Fossil fuels are a factor in 75% of global greenhouse emissions, but there's still another 25% that we can cut down in other places.
Sir, 75% of our global greenhouse emissions is a big majority from only fossil fuels. With the Paris Agreement Act, we can help save our environment and leave a place for our future generations.
We still need import-export in order for our economy to strive.
I agree, and we will be building fewer V8 engines in our cars and try to incorporate electric cars into the world, as well as using alternative sources of energy.
The plan sounds like a good idea, and I do want my future generations to have a place to call home.
I'm glad you could agree and that I could change your mind on the Paris Agreement Act. We will also be cutting out other sources of carbon emissions throughout the years.
Thank you for explaining to me why we need to cut carbon emissions and showing me that you will try to keep our import-export in business.